And good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Tim Tulloch. A beautiful Monday afternoon for closing day of the Preakness meet here at Pimlico. Happy Memorial Day to everybody and special live racing today. Always a big crowd out here at Pimlico on Memorial Day. And a chalky day yesterday on a Sunday, so we have that big carryover in the Rainbow Pick Six, and it all must go. Mandatory payout for that large Rainbow Pick Six carryover, now over $261,000.
And that might make this Memorial Day a little bit bigger than normal with this big carryover in the Rainbow Pick Six. But some fun races yesterday. American Sailor, just a tick off the track record. Pugilist in the last, some good racing.
And how about, I know War of Wills, the big Preakness winner, so he's horse of the meet, but Ion Berlin, probably the only two-time winner of this meet, right? Ion Berlin got her second win yesterday.
The second win yesterday, coming back off 7-8 days rest, and ran a big one also for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon.
All right, so that was all yesterday. We showed you the carryover in that Rainbow Pick Six, over $261,000. It all must go. Mandatory payout. Pick Six starts in race 4. Happy Memorial Day. Let's get right to it. Let's show you. There we go, live racing. First race post time is 1:10. We have a 9-race program today. Not too hot. Nice little cloud cover. Come on out, spend the holiday with us. Let's show you a picture of both the tracks. The dirt is fast. The turf is beautiful, firm, so perfect conditions. What's the weather? All right, 79, partly cloudy, chance of rain later on. We'll hopefully get the card in with no rain, fast and firm. Let's get right to it here in race 1. Race 1 will start a couple things. The rolling super high 5 will start in the opener. That has a low 15% takeout. Keep your eye on that throughout the day. Every race with 7 or more horses, we have the super high 5. Also, race 1 starts the popular early pick 5, which is a mandatory payout always on the early pick 5. And as always, industry low, 12% takeout. Tim, you have a ticket for this early pick 5. Let's check it out, see how you played it.
I do a $54 ticket in the first race. I used 3 of them, the 2, the 3, in the 9. In the second, I go 2 deep using the 3 and the 6. Third race, 1, 2, 5 in the fourth race. The third race. In the fourth race, I go 2, 3, 6, and in the fifth, I go 3, 4. My all Penn National shipper in fifth, 3 and 4 for Savaggio and Timothy Kreiser. $54 ticket. Good luck if you play along in the early pick 5.
All right, let's take a look at the opener. We're on the turf, going a flat mile on a firm turf course, 25,000 starter allowance condition. Never won 3 is the condition here, or optional claiming 25,000. I go with the 2 cabinet pick on top here, a 4-year-old son of Broken Valve for trainer Jorge Duarte Jr., for the private trainer now for Colts Neck Stables, and Toledo will ride this 4-year-old. What a big, good-looking win off, a 2-month freshening late April at Laurel Park. Went right to the front that day, opened up by 10 and kept on going. Big 79 buyer, I believe, cabinet pick, probably going to march right to the front today with Toledo. See if this good-looking 4-year-old can get back-to-back wins. You like him on top as well.
Absolutely. We'll certainly take advantage of that nice inside draw. Gets to turn back, 16th of a mile, running a flat mile today. Was getting a little late in that big win at Laurel. Was opened up by 7, as you mentioned, but only ended up winning by a length and a half. Throttled down a little bit, but I think cabinet pick will be pretty tough here. 2 works since that last race for Georgie Duarte.
All right, how about a cold 2.983 superfecta for us both there in race 1. We both have cabinet pick on top. Let's turn the page here. Race 2 will kick off the early pick 4. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track, claiming 5,000. Filly and mares 3 and up. Never won 2. Lifetime. The 3D is going to be tough. We'll get to the 3. We both picked the 6 on top, though. Pads of Wine. You get Trevor McCarthy, who's going to be the meet's leading rider aboard this 5-year-old for trainer Carl Duran, who's had a win here at the meet. And the 2 back, a decent 4th at this level on the turf against 16,000 2 life, a decent 4th, and ran okay last out. Now gets back to the main track and drops to the nickel 2 life today, and you get the leading rider.
Well, that's exactly it. Getting back to this $5,000 level, actually the cheapest he's ever run, but this is exactly where he belongs. He broke his maiden for maiden 10. This is a perfect spot. Now, a couple of those dirt races, February 28th, where he got beat 2 lengths, were running 4th. He ran behind some pretty decent horses. Got Tose and Reed. That horse has just been on a roll of late, and Call Me Jelly Roll will come out of that race and come back to win. So back at a very favorable level for Paths of Wine for Trevor McCarthy and Carl Duran.
All right, so we both have the 6 on top, the 3 D's 5-2 morning line for trainer Mark Reed. The barn had a win yesterday here at Pimlico. They're stabled here at Pimlico. We have a video spotlight to show you. Here's the race for D, April 22nd at Laurel Park.
Yeah, it just gets bounced around out of the gate a little bit, takes a little stumble step, and then gets bounced around and keeps trying all the way around there into the stretch. Now, this race was first off a little bit of a layoff. As they turn in the stretch, she's in contention for the win, and then she just starts to flatten out a little bit late and ends up getting beat 8 lengths while running 5th. But she had trouble in the beginning, but now she's taking this favorable drop to the 5,000. I think it's going to make her pretty tough in this spot. I don't have her on top. You don't have her on top, but she's going to run much better today, I'm for sure. This is another one who broke her maiden for maiden 10. Now she's in for the 2 lifetime nickel.
Yeah, the barn's having a nice meet, a couple wins, and they're all finishing in the money. The bug boy Correa, he took the early daily double yesterday, didn't he? Julio Correa.
Certainly
right?
did. He's won 4 in the last 2 days.
All right, so Correa on a roll. He'll be tough here on the 3. We both like the 5. Perfect exchange for Rodney, 3rd at this level, last out. And the 4, Kentucky Smooth, gets back to the main track today.
Absolutely. A perfect exchange. Last 2 races have been a bit better. Seems like she's going in the right directions, and 2 really good works since her last.
All right, let's turn the page here. Back to the turf in race 3. We're going 5/8 on the turf. In the 3rd, maiden claiming 40,000. Filly and mares 3 and up, and I go with the 2 on top. We'll get to the 5. We have a video of the 5, Jenny Highway, but I go with the 2 on top here. Echo of Victory for trainer Ann Merriman, a 3-year-old daughter of Seville. She went right to the front last out, coming off the layoff, first time on the turf, stepping up to the maiden 40. Had a pretty good effort. Was in front all the way, a decent 3rd, willing comment at 12-1. So she's going to run better today, second off the layoff, second time sprinting on the turf. She doesn't have to ship today. She gets to hot apprentice Avery Wisman, who won again yesterday. This guy's been on a roll recently. He's probably going to try to go right to the front here with the 2, Echo of Victory. Doesn't have to go 5.5 today. Can just try to hang on going 5 furlongs today.
Gets in light with 113 pounds, and you're absolutely right. That was an improved effort. She picked up her head first time on the turf, showed some speed. Now she gets to turn back to the 5/8 of a mile with that lightweight under Avery Wisman, and this horse is very, very live in today's 3rd race here at Laurel Park.
The one moon.
Pimlico.
Pimlico. Well, so Laurel soon enough. Entries are out for opening day. Big overnight next Friday.
Yeah, they are. Next Friday back to Laurel. But Pimlico today.
Pimlico today. The 1 Moonlight Miss you have on top for our leading trainer, Jamie Ness. What a meet this guy's had. This a well-bred first-time starter by Malibu Moon out of a Tisnall mare. You get McCarthy, the leading rider. These two, 53% together here at Pimlico. So the one's going to be tough. I just don't like the rail for her debut.
I don't like the rail for her debut either, but she shows some good works from the gate. She's getting Trevor McCarthy, who's maybe one of the best gate riders here in Maryland. He can get them out of the gate, comes in with some strong works out of a pretty nice mare, Sormstan, who was exclusively ran on the turf. She was 4 for 8, 1, 2, 3 in her career and ran almost always on the turf. So we've got a lot of grass pedigree there. We've got a hot outfit, a hot rider. I'm going to go with Moonlight Miss first time out of the box for Jamie Ness.
All right, she'll be tough, and we both like the 5 here, Jenny Highway. We have a video spotlight of her only race, her debut, late April at Laurel against Maiden 25. Here's Jenny Highway.
Yeah, there she is. She's pretty far back with about 3/8 of a mile to go, but she gets belly low here late and starts to pick up horses, and she's got to weave around some traffic. She certainly doesn't get the best trip in this race. As she starts to come around, she's got to go around some horses some more. And look, she's almost last at the top of the stretch, or at least last with anyone in contention. And here she comes. She just finds her way through horses. This will be the 2nd time on the grass today, and a little bit cleaner trip could get her right up there. Picks up Horatio Caramanos today. We know he knows his way around the turf course. And here she comes. She finally gets herself where she can run a little straight, and she keeps on coming, gets beat a length, and runs a good solid number for Ann Merriman. So I expect improvement today. 2nd time out and 2nd time on the grass.
I like her. The blinkers on. You have to think that's going to help her focus and help her stay straight. in the stretch. You saw she was a little green there in her debut. That was a good debut, weaving through traffic. She's a well-bred, brave filly. We both like the 5, Jenny Highway. Also, we both like the 6, Old Line Magic. Second-time starter for Dorothy Wharton. This filly by Straight Magician. She had a useful debut against Maiden 25, 5.5 on the turf, late April at Laurel Park. That was the same day, just a split. These races split that day, and they ran about the same time. This time a tick faster for the Old Line Magic, who rallied for second, gets first-time Lasix today.
And ran a very similar race. Both of them outrun early. She came running late, run second, gets beat a length just like Jenny Highway. This one shows a sharp work since that last start, 3/8 of a mile right here at Laurel Park, 36-2.
All right, so nice maiden 40 filly.
Huh? Pimlico.
That's
Pimlico.
right. You've been studying that big overnight for opening day at Laurel next Friday, but we're going to get through today. Mandatory payout in the Rainbow Pick 6. That's coming up in race 4. We both have tickets. Everybody should take a shot at the Rainbow Pick 6. I like some long shots on my ticket. We'll take a look right after this.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
All right, welcome back. Let's get right to it. Today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 has a large carryover. Let's show you what that number is, $261,773. It starts in race 4 today. It's a mandatory payout. It all must go, and we're thinking this has a shot of getting up around $1 million. They say on mandatory payouts, they're going to bet that the new money is going to be anywhere from 4 times to 10 times what the carryover is. So 261 times 4, that's over $1 million. Hopefully we get over $1 million in today's Rainbow Pick 6.
Oh, I think we get very close at worst to $1 million in today's Rainbow Pick 6 at Pimlico.
All right, so we both have tickets. Also, race 4 kicks off the middle pick 4. Let's check out Tim's pick 6, though.
Yeah, a couple of these races I thought had to spread a little bit, a little salty as far as who can win it, and that it starts out in race 4. I go 4 deep here using the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 6. In the 5th race, I go use 3 of them using the 3, 4, and the 5. 6th race, I go 4 deep in this race using the 1, 4, 6, and 8. My single comes in the 7th, and that is the 3, Curlin's Night for Jeremiah Engelhart and Georgie Vargas. 8th race, 3 deep there, 2, 4, and 7, and I finish it out 3 deep in the 9th using the 2, 5, and 6. $86.40 play. Good luck if you play along in the Rainbow Pick 6.
All right, let's check out my ticket as well here. A $64 ticket for my Rainbow Pick 6, and you can study both our tickets online, pimlico.com, underneath the handicapping section. But there's my ticket, $64 play. Races 4 and 5, I go 4 deep. Race 4, I go with the 2, 3, 4, 6 to 4. Maynooth is my top pick in the 4th at 5 to 1. I think there's a lot of speed, and I think the 4 Maynooth is going to try to get up in the final strides. But I use 4 horses here in the 4th. Race 5, I go 4 deep with the 3, 4, 7, 10. The 10 is my top pick in the 5th race. That's the 10 Queen of Schmooze, who's 4 to 1 morning line. Race 6, that's a nice allowance, first level allowance, going 1.5 miles on the turf. The 2 Tap the Moment just ran a good second, going 1.5 miles on the turf at Great Meadows down in Virginia. So the 2 is going to be tough. Also the 8 Vincent Van Gogh ran a good third, going 1.25 miles at Great Meadow early May. So I think the 2 and the 8 look awfully tough in race 6. Race 7, I have the same single as Tim does. The 3 Curlin's Night for Engelhart and Vargas. They're 35% together, and this 4-year-old son of Curlin ran big last out, sitting on a big effort today. So we both single on the 3 Curlin's Night in race 7. Race 8, a nice maiden 40 turf sprint, 5/8 on the turf. Ann Merriman's going to be tough in there with the 7 Railmaster and the Bug Boy Avery Wisman. But Hammy Smith has a 3-year-old that's been working well at Laurel Park. You get Toledo to ride. The 4 Bold Trek could be tough in race 8. And then at race 9, I'm too deep there in the fourth, in the eighth race with the 4 and the 7. Then race 9, I go 5 deep there. That's a 3 life, 16,000 claimer going a mile turf. I used a 2, 5, 6, 8, 12. The 2 Electro is my top pick. A horse I don't have on my ticket there, but worries me is the 3 Unworried Sky coming off the layoff for Dorothy Wharton, and Victor Rosales had a 3-win day the other day. That's a first time gelding. So on a deeper ticket, also used the 3 in race 9. That's a wide open race. I go 5 deep there in race 9.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's a couple races you need to go a little deep, and you did it. And look, our whole day depends on Jeremiah Engelhart and Georgie Vargas.
And in the 7th, absolutely. Let's take a look here at the 4th, which also kicks off the middle pick 4. We're going a mile and a 16th on the main track, claiming 16,003 and up. Never won 3 or straight 3-year-olds. I go with the full 4 on top. Maynuth, it's a cool horse. He was in the Cal Lynch barn when I was working there this winter. He's a real cool, good-looking 4-year-old son of Sky Mesa. He's a deep closer. He likes it. Well, McCarthy kept him closer last out, and he won for 8,002 life. Was claimed that day, actually. It was claimed by Kieran McGee that day, and then I guess maybe a private sale here to owner-trainer Gary Katz. Karamanos will ride. I think there's a good setup here for a closer like Maynuth. I think the 2 Hot Sriracha is in very sharp form right now for a sharp barn, but he's going to have to tangle with the 6 Kenny Shine. They both have to go to the lead, so I think it provides a nice setup for a closer like the 4 Maynuth.
It very well might. Maynuth has been a little unreliable throughout his career, and now he's taking this step up from the 8,000 to the 14,000. He ran a good race, and you're absolutely right. Trevor was able to keep this one close on a racetrack with moisture in his last start in a 7-horse field. But today he gets a fast track up back again. He's going to have to, if he goes back to coming from way back, he could be in a little bit of trouble. He's certainly going to have to run back to that last race on April 12th.
All right, the 3 is going to be tough. The 3's a closer for Claudio Gonzalez. Grand Oasis just had a nice win here at Pimlico, trying to be another 2-time winner of the meet, just like Ion Berlin.
Yeah, big win on the slop in his last start at right here at Pimlico, but he's just as capable on a fast track, and he does close, but he doesn't come from too far back. He lays 3-4 out of it, keeps himself within striking range. Claudio Gonzalez horses will win 2 in a row 26% of the time, and Anthony Quills rides again on Grand Oasis.
All right, and the 2 Hot Sriracha, a big win last out. First off the claim for Rudy Sanchez Solomon. This barn's rolling. They had a nice spring meet at Laurel. They're rolling this spring here at Pimlico. Hot Sriracha won by 10 last out. And so this 4-year-old son of Flatter's in very good form right now. But he's not going to be the only one out front today. He's going to have to tangle with the 6 Kenny Shine.
Well, certainly. And he caught a sloppy racetrack in his last start, but he's stepping up again. Rudy stepped this horse up off the $5,000 claim to the 8, got the job done, absolutely galloped, is stepping up again. So it is going to be the second time in a row that this horse is raising in class. So he's going to have to be up to the task. I think he is. I have him in my exact, and as you mentioned, Rudy Solomon Sanchez, his barn's been red hot. His horse has been really, really reliable all winter and into the Pimlico meet.
And the 6 Kenny Shine. Now, this is going to be a good test here for the 7-pound bug rider, Avery Wispin, who's having a nice meet. He's riding some winners, and he's going to be good, trying to go the front here with the 6. Now, he should be able to dictate the early terms here with speed on the outside. He should have the X-Man measured on his inside, but Xavier's going to have fun with this. Xavier's going to try to get out there and walk the dog and try to slow that bug boy right up in his face. I think that's what he's going to try to do, but we'll see. We'll see what Wispin does.
Well, we've seen Avery ride some pretty smart races, a little bit beyond, to me, a little bit beyond what his career would have suggested it would, where he's laid, he's waited, he's been patient. So from the outside, he just might do that. But you got to play by the ear. If Xavier doesn't get away for some reason, boom,
Sure.
You could be right there in front and just have it gifted to you. But he has the advantage on the outside. There's no question about that.
All right, so it's a 6-horse field. I used 4 of them. I used the 2, 3, 4, 6 in the first leg of today's pick 6 with that big carryover and a mandatory payout. Let's turn the page here. Race 5 will kick off the late pick 5. No carryover today, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout on both your pick 5s here at Pimlico. So pick 5 time here in the 5th. We're on the turf, 5 furlongs on the turf, claiming 16,000. Filly and mares 3 and up, and I go 4 deep in this race. I used a 3, 4, 7, 10 on my pick 6 here. Let's take a look at the 10. My top pick here, Queen of Schmooze, made her turf debut last out, second off her layoff. It was only her 4th race this year, and that was her turf debut in a tough starter allowance condition. She was 15-1. She showed speed and finished a very useful 3rd. This was here at Pimlico back on May 9th, and now in a little easier spot today. That was a tough starter allowance. Now in a starter, so this is not a starter. It's a wide open, claiming 16,000. All right, so probably a lateral move here for the 10 Queen of Schmooze, but she showed speed last out. Antonio Quill should be able to get a forwardly placed trip on the outside here with the 10 Queen of Schmooze, my top pick.
And I like her again today. I liked her first time on the turf. I thought her breeding suggested she would get better on turf, and she did. And she ran into Aya Berlin in her last start, and Aya Berlin's very, very good. She scored a lifetime best race in her career in her last start. A nice work since that last race, and I have Queen of Schmooze in my exacta.
All right, you have the 3 on top here. Lucy in the Sky comes off a long layoff for trainer Michael Salvaggio. Tyler Connor will ride his 5-year-old mare, but she's a 3-time winner on the turf, so she knows what she's doing, and she had a couple nice wins sprinting on the turf last summer, including a nice one right here at Pimlico.
Yeah, she's dropping back down off a little bit of a layoff, and she's had 2 solid races against much tougher and other than in her last race before she went on the layoff, and 2 races before that at Penn National. We know these Penn National shippers, they come in here and they run very, very well. She's working really nicely for her return here in this race today at Pimlico. She hasn't run since last August, so it's been a substantial layoff, but I think she's up to the task. Tyler Connor and Mike Salvaggio, 27%. They go to the winner's circle.
Yep, pretty good. All right, I'll take the 3, Lucy in the Sky. We'll get a nice price there on that mare. I have her on my ticket. The 4 we both like, Overexposed for trainer Tim Kreiser. So high percentage winning outfit. This filly, 4-year-old filly by It's No Joke. She has some early speed. She's won 3 of her last 4, and her lone turf try, a decent second last summer against Maiden Special Weight up at Penn National.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, she might be the filly to beat in this spot. She's trying turf for the 2nd time of her career. She's in great form as we speak, and the only time she did try the turf, which was last July at Penn National, she ran a solid race, getting beat length and 3/4 at Maiden Special Weight level. So by It's No Joke, who is by Distorted Humor of her caller ID mare, she'll like the turf again. I like Overexposed, Edwin Gonzalez, and Timothy Kreiser. They go to the winner's circle 34% of the time when they hook up, and Kreiser's horses will win 2 in a row, 27% of the time.
All right, so nice turf sprint there in race 5 to kick off the late pick 5. We like a few of the same horses. Let's turn the page here. Race 6 kicks off the late pick 4, and this is a nice first level allowance condition, 3 and up. I love the distance here, 1.5 miles on the turf. They're going to start on the back stretch over there, come through the stretch once, and then come all the way around. You better have a serious racehorse for this race, and I like, we're all over the place here in this race. All right, good stuff. I go with the 8 on top here, Vincent Van Gogh, a 4-year-old son of Painter for trainer Lacey Gaudet. This horse has 3 races under his belt this year, 2 turf routes, including most recently May 4th down there at Great Meadows in Virginia, going 1.25 miles, a real good 3rd that day, carrying 155 pounds, what was the weight. That was against Allowance Company. Now we're going 1.5 miles today. I think this horse is well prepared for a big effort today. You get Joan Rosado to ride. He's been on the horse before, so I go with the 8, Vincent Van Gogh on top.
Yeah, I use Vincent Van Gogh, and you're absolutely right. Getting a big weight break today, a little tune-up in that 1.25 mile race where they ran 2:23. I kind of take these hunt meet races with a little bit of a grain of salt. The pace scenario is so different. They're just high galloping in a lot of these races. They go a lot faster, even going 1.5 miles today earlier. And you look at his form, and you'll see some races where he just simply ran okay while going along. No, I do use them on my ticket, but I'm a little wary of these horses that have run big at the hunt meets and then come here, and it all changes. It's just different.
All right, you go with the 4 on top here. Broad Expanse for trainer Dorothy Wharton. Horacio Caramanos rides this 4-year-old son of Curlin. And well, I didn't use him. I didn't use this horse at all.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. She's winless on the turf, but had some positive races, and the breeding suggests by Curlin out of a concerned mare that 1.5 miles is going to be no issue whatsoever. Already shows a good race going 1.8 miles over a yielding course last fall in the Maryland Million starter turf, and comes back in his last start, going a flat mile and running a good number, getting beat 2 lengths while running 6. So I think this horse is going to appreciate going 1.5 miles for Dorothy Wharton and Horatio Caramanos. And Dorothy Wharton wins 19% of the time on the turf, and you just don't think. Sometimes you think about trainers and stuff, and all of a sudden you look at a stat and you go, wow, she's pretty good on the grass.
And you get Caramanos to ride, so I can't knock that. I didn't use the 4. I did use a 2 in my exacta, though. Tap the Moment, a 5-year-old son of Tapazar for trainer Louis Bosley. Forrest Boyce, the regular rider for this horse. This horse had a nice win last summer at Laurel, maiden special weight, going long on a yielding turf course, 70 Beyer speed figure that day, and then has had the winner off, had the comeback race, just like my top pick, Vincent Van Gogh. Tap the Moment, ran down there at Great Meadows May 4th, going 1.5 miles against Allowance Company. A strong rally with to finish a good second, carrying 151 pounds. So I think the 2, Tap the Moment, well prepared to get 1.5 miles today with Forrest Boyce.
Yeah, there's no question that these 2 horses, Tap the Moment and the horse on the outside of Lacey Gaudet's Vincent Van Gogh, can get the distance. The question is, can they get the distance while going faster? And that's a question I always ask when you look at his last race at this level on a good course at the A out of the N level. Be pretty good, 5 lengths, running 7th and ran a decent number, but going to have to do a lot better. I don't think the 2:39 for the 1.5 miles is going to get it done here today.
All right, you have the 1 Barron in your exacta with Avery Wisman aboard, second off the layoff today for Barron.
Yeah, second off a layoff, a good effort in return. Already a winner going 1.8 miles, and is going to get 7 pounds from 4 others in this race, and that could be very significant. If you go back to last June at Laurel Park, you'll see a nice race in that starter 16, and then got the win going 1.8 miles in the Maryland Million starter handicap last October. So I'll give Ann Merriman and Avery Wisman, getting a little weight from everybody, a shot here, and she's in my exacta.
All right, we have to move to race 7, but real quick, we both like the 6 Lemon Zip, a nice win going 1 mile 3/8 against Starter Handicap Company late March down there at Tampa. So the 6 Lemon Zip could be a factor today for trainer Niall Seville. Let's turn the page here. Race 7 will kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going 1 mile and a 16th, claiming 8,003 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. We both have the 3 Curlin's Night on top. Our single, our key horse on both our pick 6 tickets. We have a video spotlight to show you. Let's show you the race from April 13th at Laurel Park.
Yeah, turning for home. We're about the 3/16 pole here, and he's on the outside driving all the way down there, and these 2 get in a little bit of tussle. They start banging off of each other a little bit. This horse never gives up. He keeps on digging, I think he gets a cleaner trip today. He takes a little bump here late again, and doesn't get up. So, look, I think he gets a cleaner trip today. I think he's horse to beat. He better be, because he's a single on both our pick 6.
Yeah, he looks awfully tough. Hot Sriracha, who was third in that race, came right back to win. So Curlin's Knight's coming out of a strong race. We both have him on top. We both like the 6 real quick. Dedicated. The barn 0 for 29 this year. They got to wake up a little bit here. This horse third last out, though, for 16,000 too late. But that was a 7-horse field that came off the turf.
Yeah, taking a drop. Been running good numbers, not getting good results, but maybe this drop back down to this $8,000 level, and a clean trip tends to get in trouble at the break, and then during the running of the race would certainly help if he could stay out of trouble.
All right, take a look here at race 8 to kick off the late daily double. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. We're going 5 furlongs on the turf, and Merriman looks tough in this race. She has a first-time starter. The 5, here comes Mongo, but she also has the favorite, the morning line favorite. The 7, Railmaster, is 9-5. A 5-year-old son of Great Notion. He's still a maiden 0 for 12. He's run some big races. They protect him. They haven't run him less than maiden 40, and this will be his 3rd race back this spring. He just ran a big 3rd third at this level on the turf. That was Black Eyed Susan Day, going 5/8 on a good turf course. Now gets a firm turf course today. He gets the Bug Boy Avery Wisman, gets an outside draw, so he should be able to get a perfect stalking trip, laying second or third early on.
And getting a little bit of weight from everybody, but that's my concern about Railmasters. He hasn't run for cheaper than the 40, and he's had his opportunities. You go back to last summer, you'll see in the maiden special weight and maiden 40s running decent races, but certainly not good enough. Now, he did come back with a big race in his first start on the turf this spring over a good course, going to get a firm course today. He's 0 for 12 maiden, and he's had opportunities. I like him. He's in my exacted, don't get me wrong, but he's not reliable enough for me to pick him on top. So I went with some new blood in the first-time starter, the 4 Bold Trek for Hammy Smith.
Yeah, Bold Trek's been working well at Laurel. 3-year-old colt by Quinteros. You get Jevion Toledo to ride. Toledo with a nice win yesterday, and Hammy's always live with his first-time starters.
Yeah, by Quinteros out of an India Charlie mare. This is a lot of turf pedigree right here that have been working very, very well, including a nice sharp work on May 14th, 101 and a little bit of change at Laurel Park. It's getting Toledo. I just like everything about this. Gets to break in between horses, and that Hammy Smith has this one ready with a really, really nice work pattern and sharp recent work. So I'll take a shot with Bold Trek. This is my price play of the day, 3-1 on the line.
All right, so I used the 4-7 in this race on my pick six. How many did you go? How many deep did you go in this race?
I used 3. I used a 2, 4, and 7.
2, okay. The 2 with Pimentel, yeah. Trombetta could wake him. A well-bred Malibu Moon. Shown speed both times on the main track now and then quit. And he's going to have to finish better today on the turf.
No question about it, but it's bred to run on the turf, getting turf for the first time. So I didn't want to get stuck there and watch Rocket Tooth Moon to get the win and me not be on him.
All right, so nice maiden 40 there in race 8. Let's turn the page here. Race 9, the finale. Hope you're live in all your Will Pays. Everybody's going to be checking out the Will Pays going into race 9. Hopefully you're still live in the Rainbow Pick 6 or the Pick 5 or Pick 4. Race 9, we're going a mile on the turf, claiming 16,003 and up. And everyone 3 or straight 3-year-olds is the condition. I like the 2 on top here, Electro. We have a video spotlight to show you of Electro. Here's the last win, coming off a little bit of a layoff. Late April at Laurel Park, turning for home. This was again 16,002 life, and Electro shifts 3 wide and just gonna get up in the final strides with Horacio Caramanos aboard. Now this was for trainer Mike Trombetta. Claudio Gonzalez claimed Electro this day. He waits the 30 days. He's right back in for 16,003 life. This is a good move. I think this 5-year-old son of Ghost Zapper sitting on a big effort. He'll get a ground-saving trip with Caramanos. I have the 2 Electro on top.
And that's exactly the right move. It's not like he crushed that field by many. He was, at the end of the day, not life or death to win, but still only won that race by a neck. Comes back at the same level. 3 lifetime for Claudio Gonzalez. We know what he can do off the claim, but we also know what he can do on the turf, which isn't as good. Only 2% winners on the turf over the last couple years. So his turf numbers need to come up. I use Electro, use them at the bottom of my ticket, but certainly you have to consider them, and I do have them on my pick 6.
You have a nice 8-1 shot on top here. The 6 Maquis for trainer Suzanne Satinius. Javion Toledo will ride his horse, about a 5-year-old by Street Cry. He's won a couple big races on the turf.
He certainly has. He's only run on the turf twice in his whole career. He won one, and he was third in the other. He's 1 for 1 at the distance, and that race he won was a 2 lifetime 16,000 at Laurel last August, and he got the job done and fired a good solid number in his 71. Has not been back on the grass since then, which is kind of, well, they tried a lot of off the turf events there. We had a lot of rain last year, so that happened to a lot of horses last year, but gets back on the grass for the first time since last August, and they were trying to get him back on the grass. I like Mokeef with Javion Toledo.
I don't have him in my picks there, but I do have him on my pick 6 ticket. I think the 6 is live. We talked about the 2. How about the 5? We both like the 5 ride to the sunset for trainer Michael Salvaggio with a couple live shippers today. He gets Tyler Connor to ride this 4-year-old who's a 2-time winner on the grass.
It certainly is, coming up from the championship meet at Gulfstream Park, where he ran some nice races, 2 back, going a mile 16th at Gulfstream at that 3 lifetime level. Only got beat a length and quarter, and fired a big 75 Beyer speed figure. If he runs back to that race there, that's good enough to get it done, coming in with some nice works out at Penn National.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. I go 5 deep in this race. I use the two.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Yeah, it's a tough race here in race 9. So I hope you're live. You're going into the final race in the pick 6. Let's show you that big number one more time. It's over 261,000. It's a mandatory payout. We think it's going to get up around $1 million today. Jump on in. It starts in race 4. You can study Tim and I's tickets on the Pimlico.com website underneath the handicapping section. Dave Rodman, he's coming up next. Not too many scratches or changes today.
No, it was great.
Everybody
It was great.
Well, everybody came to run here. Final day of the big Preakness meet here at Pimlico. Good luck.